Stay tuned because next up is David Charles Allen, Village Properties Realtor and host of The Hop.
Welcome to The Hop. This is David Charles Allen, Realtor at Village Properties in Santa Barbara, California, with my great friend and co-host, Patty Teal. I'm doing wonderful today, Patty. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, David. We have warm weather here. How is it there in Santa Barbara?
So we actually cooled down a lot. So last night it was pretty chilly. We got down to 39. We have some frost warnings as well for up in the mountains. We're all over the place right now, but it's still beautiful out.
Wow, it sounds beautiful. I like that kind of weather where it gets chilly like that.
Could have had a couple of really good days of surf, but the wind really blew it out because we had just a really big windstorm passing through, which has brought all this cold weather. And
yeah, there can be some pretty big windstorms back there.
I love feeling a little bit different than just having it sunny and beautiful every day.
Absolutely. A little drama is always nice with the weather.
A little drama is always nice, of course. And then in terms of how interest rates, they've stayed consistent since last week, 4% for 30-year fixed and 3.5% for 30-year jumbo.
Well, that's good. They haven't kept going up and they've kind of stayed stable over this last week. I know it was a new high, but at least it's settling down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you read articles out there, some people are saying that the Fed's going to mark it up the next 7 times. I don't know exactly what that means, but we'll see how that impacts interest rates as well.
Right.
And then in terms of how the statistics have performed this last week, we had 40 new listings, 3 price changes, 20 that closed, 26 that went pending, 1 expired, and 6 coming soon. So again, we're great that we're back up to 40 in terms of new listings. We'd like to be at the 60 or more mark, really get more supply out there. But it is also interesting, only 26 went pending. So that's probably one of the biggest gaps we've had since we started this show.
Yes, I think so. To have 14 more new listings than houses that went pending. That hasn't happened for a while, if ever, as far as I've been co-hosting with you. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's wild. It's interesting to see. I know there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the news as well. So maybe that's impacting people, or maybe people are a little slower to find what they're looking for. There's could be so many different reasons.
No, it's really hard to predict or to figure out why things happen.
It's really hard to predict people's reaction to things in a sense. You can do your best, but it's not always going to be consistent to how it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but it does seem like the tumultuous times make people want to hunker down and feel safe in a home.
Yeah, I think it's really been about knowing that what you have is your home base. And really having some solid ground so you're not having to deal with outside influences as much. I mean, in renting, you're always dealing with if the tenant or the landlord's going to raise rent, or if they're going to sell their house and they have to move out, or there's so many different factors to owning your own place in comparison to kind of being without a home in a sense.
Right. I know, because to a degree, even though you probably have a lease, when that lease is up, you just never know if you're going to be able to stay in that place.
Yeah. And it's hard to really build something when you have that uncertainty involved with it. So a lot of people really knew what they wanted, or maybe knew what they kind of wanted, and we'll see if that stays consistent with people who made those decisions.
Right. Well, even as far as being able to rent a house with your beloved animals, that can be difficult.
It's wild. No one wants dogs at their place. If you're getting an apartment or a condo or townhome or renting from a property management company, it's basically no dogs allowed. So that's limiting you to people that are renting out their own home, and they're a little more flexible in that sense. But yeah, it's really difficult.
Oftentimes, even if dogs are allowed, they might want them to be under 20 pounds or only 1 dog. So there's all kinds of restrictions that may come to play.
Yeah, and that's the freedom of having your own place. You really get to do what you want to do and not have those restrictions or uncertainties that come along with it.
Are we ready to hear about your fur babies today, or are there more real estate reports?
Yeah, my fur babies are doing great. Everyone's getting along. Moose is getting really big, really fast. And he's taken after his older sister, Jasmine, a little too much. She's a little bit of a wild one. So we have to make him so he takes after Bailey a little bit more because Bailey is so good with everybody.
Oh, and I have met Bailey. Bailey is a sweetheart. Well, at our park a walk the other day, Ollie stepped on something that hurt his paw and he couldn't put any weight on it. He was limping around and I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to have to take him to the dog hospital? But about 2 hours later, he was okay. I think he's a little bit of a drama king.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I shared this before, but it happened with Jasmine one time where we were up at a lake and she was just going crazy, jumping in the lake, fetching the stick, all this stuff. It was a cold lake. It wasn't like really hot out. And after about like a half hour, an hour, she just starts hysterically going crazy, absolutely death curl, screaming, just like something happened to her. And we're like, nothing happened. She's like, no. And then she's walking around and she can't feel her foot. Her foot's numb or her leg's numb. So she's walking around like she lost her leg or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They are funny. I mean, I was scared. I'm like, are you okay? But a couple hours later, he started following me around and he was okay. Maybe it was a thorn. Maybe he got stung by a bee. I don't know. I'm sure it hurt, but it was very dramatic.
Oh, yeah. And then 20 minutes later, after her leg warms up, she jumps back in the water. And it's like totally fine. It's like so dramatic.
They are funny, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you so much for the update, David. Glad that they haven't shot up too quickly so that people can have a chance with these interest rates still relatively low to find their forever home.
Yeah, me too, Patty.
All right. Well, have a great week, David.
All right, let's give it a go next week.
Bye-bye.